Hey everyone, good evening. It's Marshall, and welcome to another episode of The Stern Truth. Hope you guys are great, and hopefully some of you can jump on the training tonight because we have a really good topic, and I think it's a time-sensitive topic for many of you. Um, as always, please post your comments or questions or comments in the box below, and we'll try to get to them during the call. Now, today we're going to be talking about work and life balance. And the reason I've chosen that topic, of course, we're all about business and life mastery, so this is really topical anyways, but I really want to talk about it today because I've gone through a lot of the postings, and a lot of people, especially when they join the group, the biggest challenge, when I ask what the biggest challenges are, a lot of people talk about balancing their business and their personal lives. So I really thought that we need to sort of jump into it and really get a little deep into it right now, find out what that means, and if it's even possible to have work-life balance, because you might not think that. So that's a question I have for you right now, actually, is do you think that it's possible, not just for you, but just in general, for people to have a balance between their work and their personal life? Okay, and think about that. Um, we're going to distinguish. There's two kinds of people. Okay, and you're because you're watching this, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the recording of it, you're probably one of the two because you're here watching it. So you probably aspire to have more balance. Okay, so the first type of person, or the first scenario, if you will, is the typical one, okay? And that is you are working crazy, crazy hours. Maybe you're working 10, 12 hours at your place of business, and then you're coming home and you're putting in more time there, checking emails, responding, doing quotations, preparing for the next day, so on and so forth. And you're coming home exhausted, and you really don't have time to spend with your family, your significant other. So the downside of that and the problem with that is your relationships suffer. Now, if you have a young family, a growing family, you're missing out. You're missing out on those key moments in their lives. And that's something you'll never have back. And you're just too busy at work. You're busy doing the busy work. And even when you are home and you're with them, you might not be so present because you're so busy in your head and you're constantly thinking. And I get that. And that's unfortunately common. It's not the way to go. It's not normal, but it's common. Okay. So that going back, there's people who are busy, you're working 10 to 12 hours, and you have no time after work to really focus in not just on the people that are close to you in your life, but also yourself. The second scenario is the opposite. So, you probably thought that we were going to get on this call and just talk about those people who are constantly working and want more balance in their life and more time with their family. And although that's a large number of you, I'm sure, there's the other side of it. And there's those of you who are growing your family and you're working at home. You might work from home or you're building your business from home. And you spend so much time in the morning getting your kids ready for school, getting their meals ready, getting them to school. Then when they're at school, you can focus on your business because you've got the laundry to do, right? You have to take the dog for a walk. You've got to clean the house. This is all the things you got to do in your head. And then you have to pick up the kids, and then you have to prepare dinner, and then you have to help them with their homework, then you have to put them to bed, and then you get up and you do it all over again the next day. And your business suffers. So in the first scenario, your personal life suffers. The second scenario, your business life suffers. Neither of them, guys, are healthy. And the one thing we forgot to mention in all of this, because we've talked about the business suffering because all your focus is on your family, and we've talked about your family suffering because all your focus is on your business. And the one thing we really haven't talked about is you and how you suffer in both scenarios because you're not focusing in on yourself. And we know when we don't take time and slow down and focus on ourselves, the people around us end up suffering for it, and our business suffers for it. So it's catch-22 in all the scenarios. Now, before we get into some strategies to help you in both of these areas, I do have to say that I don't think it's possible to have work and life balance all the time. I just don't. And this is what I mean by that. There is going to be times where you need to focus more in the short term on your business. Maybe you're launching a new product or a service or training new staff. Maybe you're just starting the business or you're trying to get a big deal going. Okay, a significant deal. And so you need to sacrifice certain things in the short term. And when I say short term, I mean a few days, maybe a couple weeks max. And then on the other side, same thing. You need to focus on your family. They need you. They have needs that are time sensitive that you have to maybe pull yourself away from the business to do that. And that happens. And that is all about what John Maxwell calls the law of sacrifice. And that's the giving up of something of lesser value for the attainment of something of a greater value in that moment. Now, I'm not saying your family is never a greater value than your business, but the idea of it is in that moment, sometimes we have to put things aside or have other people do certain things, like, for example, picking up your kids one day if you need to be with a client because it's an important deal that you need to close. Maybe you can make arrangements. That's what I mean by sacrificing. Because I'll tell you one thing. If you are all about your business and you're probably not even here watching it because you don't care about work-life balance then, but if you're all about your business and you want to work more, 12, 14 hours, and you don't care, and you have, let's say, your significant other taking care of the family, and you don't really care if you're spending time with them, your significant other or your kids, then, and it's all about the business, and you're fine with that, I'm not fine with that. And you aren't someone that should be in the group, and you aren't someone that I would want to work with anyways, because the values are not in line with my values. Family is number one. There are times where business will need to be number one in a moment, in a specific time, where your focus needs to be more in your business, but overall in the big picture, family is number one. So the bottom line with all of this is you want to have control. You want to have the control to make the decision where you spend your time. Okay. And so that brings us to some of the strategies you can use and that we help our clients with in building a little bit more of work-life balance. Because at the end of the day, or at the end of the month, at the end of the year, and especially at the end of your life, you want to look back, and even at certain certain points throughout your life, you want to be able to look back and say, I had the balance. And balance is different for everyone. Okay. Balance is different for everyone. So some of the strategies, what are some of the strategies? The first one, and I mention this probably in every call we do, and I probably will mention it again in future calls, is you really need to have clarity. Okay, so what I mean is you need to be clear on what work-life balance looks like for you, what you want. So how many hours do you want to be spending working during the day? How many hours do you want to be able to be at home and focusing in on your family? Or how many hours a week do you want to spend on yourself? Developing yourself, personal growth, health, fitness, all of that. What's important to you? That's where the clarity comes in. And write it down. Guys, write it down. Because when you write it down, our subconscious is listening and takes note. And then you'll begin to do the things that you need to do unconsciously because you've written it down on paper, you know what you want, and you'll start doing those things. You'll start gravitating and moving towards that. And daily look back at your list as to what you want. Do you want to be able to, and it's not just a matter of working 7 hours or 8 hours during the day. Do you want to be able to take off during the day and have lunch with a friend, or take off during the day and if your kid is sick and be able to pick them up from school and not have to worry about it, not have to stress about it? Because that's the issue with most of us who don't have the balance and we're struggling with it. It's what I call the struggle of the juggle. One way or another, or once, whether it's too much work or too much focus on your home life and you're not able to focus on your work, there needs to be more of a balance with that because both suffer. So get clarity on what it is that you want. What do you want your life to look like? Get clarity, write it down. I can't say this enough. And that's why I keep repeating it. That's the first step, is clarity. Second step is a little more, I guess you can say maybe tangible. You have to set boundaries. Again, it doesn't matter if you're working too much or not working enough or not focusing enough on your business. We need to set boundaries for both because we're not doing either well. So when you come home at night, or if you work from home, when you come out of your home office, are you present with your significant other? Hope you only have one significant other. Are you present with them and with your kids? Or are you checking your phone, checking your email, and responding while they're talking? Do you have your phone at the dinner table? Are you having dinner as a family? So there's all these little things we can do, but you need to set boundaries, especially for those of you who work from home. That's huge because it's so easy to not have boundaries, and that's one of the biggest challenges from home offices, because it's so easy to go and do the laundry and empty the dishwasher and to even to turn on the TV and to do other things and clean up because it's there, and eventually it has to get done and you think you need to do it. So you take away from your business. So you need to set boundaries that way. And same thing if you're working from home with having, especially if you have little kids, or when they're home from school and you're working, you need to say to them, this is mommy or daddy's time. I'm in my office. I will work. I'll help you. I'll play with you. I'll help you on your school project or assignment or whatever it is at such and such time. But mommy needs, or daddy needs, to do this work right now. Okay? That's boundaries. And the same thing with the office. When you're at home, you're at home. Work is work, home is home. Now, I do understand it. I am realistic. Okay, I do understand there are some times where they overlap, but you need to have boundaries. And that's where the clarity comes in. You need to know what you want. So for example, there's many times where you'll need to bring work home. Okay, if you're working on a time-sensitive project, whatever it is, but have a boundary. You come home, you have your time with your family. It's dinner, help your kids with the homework, spend some quality time with them one-on-one, whatever it is, whatever you, through your clarity exercise, whatever you have decided that you want and you feel that is needed for you and for your family, that's what you need to do. And you need to be clear about it with yourself and with them. Same thing with work. I will do work from, for example, from 8 to 9. And then from 9 to 10, I'll spend time with my significant other. 10 to 11, I'll spend time on my own personal development, or whatever it is, whatever works for you, but make sure you have that clarity and make sure you set those clear boundaries for yourself. Okay, so you're not at home doing the work during the day and running off and throwing laundry in and folding laundry. Focused. You need that focus time. Okay. boundaries. The worst thing we can do is not be present for other people. The worst thing we can do is not be present, I'm repeating that, for other people. They need us. And not being present for ourselves. You need to spend time with others. You need to spend time on yourself. That's balance. It's all important. Because if you don't spend time with yourself, if you're not doing things to energize yourself and to take care of yourself, you're not going to be good to either your family or your business. And the third strategy I want to talk about tonight was building a team. And what I mean by building a team is not doing everything yourself. The biggest challenge we have, and this is a stern truth, the biggest challenge we have as business owners, for the most part, is we think we need to do it all ourselves. It's the way we look at our business. We talked about this before when I talked about the different kinds of business owners. It's our mindset. It's the way we view our world. It's the way we look at ourselves. It needs to change, and it needs to change now, because nothing will change until you change, okay? When you have the mindset of being the leader of your business and the leader of your family and the leader of yourself, I should have said that the other way around, because it all starts with being a leader of yourself. But when you have that mindset, you will look for other people to help out. You will look for other people to do the certain things, so you're not doing everything yourself. And this includes being at home, working from home, or growing a family. Get help. I'm not saying you have to get a nanny, maybe a babysitter every now and then. Look at friends, talk to friends, neighbors, family, whatever it is that can help out. Don't do it all yourself. You're trying to build a business, you're trying to grow a family. By building a business while growing a family, you're modeling one of the greatest things to your kids anyways, because you're actually doing something, okay? You're doing something that's important to you. And that's an amazing thing for them to see, but you need to do it better. And you need to do it with more clarity, and you need to do it as a leader. And you need to do it with more energy. And the only way you're going to do any of that is if you spend the time, shut out all the noise, and really be present with yourself. And know, we've talked about this before, know what you want, where you want to be in 3 years, what the ideal life looks like for you. Okay? And be intentional and do the things each and every day. But you need to write it down and do it. So guys, I hope that has helped. You can't do it all by yourself. So you need to build a team. You need to bring people on board. Okay? I would love for you to reach out. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'd love for you to schedule a strategy call with me and see if we can help you get some clarity and help you work through some of these areas that are holding you back from stepping into your greatness, from living the life that you want. You want some balance in your life. You want to have some clarity in your life. You want to have more in your life. I want to help you do that. So book a call with me. You can't do it all yourself, and who really, really would want to do it by themselves anyways? I'm on your team. Other people in this group are on your team. Post, guys. Post questions in the chats, in the comment boxes. Post questions to other people. It's not just about me. I'm here to support you. I'm here. I've offered all you guys free calls. Some of you have taken me up on it, and that's great. But everyone else, reach out to me, reach out to other people in the group, because that's what it's all about. That's why we have this. And I don't want you to just hide. Stop staying on the sidelines and expecting things to change for you, because it's not going to change, right? I said that before. It's not going to change. When you change, the world around you will change. When you change, the world around you will change. You want more balance, do the things necessary to get more balance. Get clarity into what that means for you. Set those boundaries and stick to them. And it's not just about the other people respecting the boundaries, they're the easy ones. It's you respecting the boundaries. It's you. It all comes down to you. It's so much easier to do the laundry than to work on that proposal. It's so much easier to do the dishes than to pick up the phone and call those 5 people that you were supposed to call or reach out to, possible clients. Isn't it? It's so much easier to say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get around to it. Stop getting around to it. Do it now. Book your call with me. Reach out to people into this in this group. And it's October 1st, guys. Last quarter of the year. Let's do it together. Let's make the rest of this year rock. Post questions below. Reach out to me. Get engaged. And let's do this. Have a great night.